Albert pack is part of the Tonehub preset platform, and in this release STL are bringing you the sounds of the Diezel Einstein. The Einstein is a 2-channel amp. The first channel has 3 modes that gives you different levels of gain and also altered voicing. You can see the modes of the amp listed in the right hand pane here in the notes section. They're also annotated in the preset name at the beginning. K1 would mean channel 1, M1 means mode 1. While the other amps in the range are known for their tightness and brutality, the Einstein is a slightly more versatile amp that brings a range of rock tones, although it will still stand with the Herbert and the VH4 in terms of aggression when you push it. What I'm going to show you now is some examples that I've put together of combinations that I think work, and I'll talk you through why I chose those combinations for these styles of track. So on this example I've used presets 5 and 6, which are the mode 2 on the Einstein, going through a Marshall JCM 800 cabinet. I made a few little tweaks on the amplifier there. Normally that would all be set to noon, and because this is a nice brutal track, we've had to bring in some classic HM2 to really give it a little bit of dirt. The bass sound that I used on this track was patch 15 from the Kemper bass pack. It was a nice brutal sound that really filled out the low end and fitted the speed of the music. The Albert pack is extremely versatile due to the number of cabinets that are included. You'll see here that we've got a whole range. The Diezel front-loaded 4x12 that comes with Celestion Vintage 30s and Celestion K100s. There's an EVH 5150 cabinet that comes with the G12 EVH speaker. A standard Marshall JCM 800 with the Celestion G12 65s. And the industry standard for heavy tones, the Mezzo Rectifier Oversize with the Mezzo voiced Celestion V30. So for this example, looking at a more modern tech style track, I've used presets 7 and 19. Again, these sounded quite well balanced to me, although the amp is actually on different channels and there's different mic combinations, although the cabinet is the same. This was for the heavy sound. For the lighter section at the start of the track, I wanted to get a bit of contrast between the two guitars. So on the left hand side we've got an Einstein on channel 1 mode 1 for the slightly more crunchy sound. That's going through a Mezzo rectifier. For the clean sound on the right hand side, I've used preset 39, which is an Einstein on channel 1 mode 1 called clean number 8. It's using an EVH cabinet with a MD421. I've also got quite a few effects going on there. I've got some delay going on, got a bit of reverb, and just some chorus on there as well. The bass on this track also comes from the Kemper bass pack. Because I was aiming for a kind of carnival style track, I used the Alpha Omega patch in the bass pack, because I know that's the pedal that was developed by Carnival's bass player. The cabinets have also been captured with a wide range of microphones. You're going to see some in here like the Shure SM57, which is a standard, the Bayer M160 and M201. There's a Sennheiser MD421 and the Heil PR30. You'll also find that some of the profiles have a stomp box baked into them. Again, you can find that in the notes where the modes are. Some of the pedals that are included are the 1433, the Maxon OD808 and the Mezza Grid Slammer. But of course you can always add your own choice of stomp boxes from the standard inclusions that STL make as well. In this example, I was trying to give a more kind of modern rock type sound. I've actually used the same patches 5 and 6 that I used for the death metal example, so it's still the Einstein in mode 2 going through the JCM 800 cabinet. This time though, we don't have the HM2 turned on in front, and everything's a little bit kind of cleaner and more polite to fit the style of the track. For this example, showing how the Einstein can do more classic rock with AC/DC, I've used patches 35 and 39. They're both the Einstein on channel 1 mode 1, and what I've done this time is got a clean sound and then actually used a distortion pedal up front. I've used the Overdrive 2, which I believe is an MXR Badass OD. Did that because it's got the extra bass control on there, so I can just kind of smooth the sound out a little bit and get a bit of that low end happening. I didn't want it to be too sharp sounding. Hopefully what I've shown you here is that the STL Albert pack is very versatile. If you use the cabinets to your advantage, you can really make it fit into a lot of different styles and mixes. Keep your eyes peeled for lots of great new releases coming from STL.